All right, blessings. Welcome to Congregation Rehoboth and our Tuesday night teaching. TNT, we are here to blow up false doctrine, false teachings. The psalmist says that I hate, and that we should hate every false way. Every false way, we should hate it, the psalmist says. And so this is what we're here to do. We're here to demonstrate out loud to the public that we literally hate, we detest, we despise. It makes us sick to our stomachs. It grosses us out. There's no benefit in it. And what we say is, bring the truth, because that's what we respect. That's what we love. That's what Yah loves. And so we love what he loves and we hate what he hates. And so this is why we are here tonight. And so I'm excited, guys. I'm excited for what we're going to dive into. And I pray that that you're just as excited as I am. And we're going to get to it, guys. Once you do me a favor, if you can thumb up the live. When you share it on your page, thumb it up, heart it up, whatever you would like to do. And then I want you to share it. Share it on your page. Share it on a friend's page. Share it on someone's page that you know they need to hear some good teaching. Something that, and when I say good teaching, what I'm just simply saying is, the word of Yah. Put it on someone's Facebook page, put it on Instagram, share it here, share it there, share it everywhere. Let someone know that the king is coming. And so I want to really deal tonight, guys, with this topic here. And I know it's been a while. It's been a while since I've taught on this, but I pray that that you will remember some things that we spoke about regarding this topic. So give me a second. I'm just trying to share it on all of my pages here. And oh yes. And here we go. All right. Share it everywhere. Here we go. All right. Once again, we thank the Lord for you joining in. We're going to jump right into it. You guys got your pens, your paper, you're ready to learn, your Bible's open. And so we're going to start off with Leviticus chapter 10, verses 10 and 11. Leviticus 10, 10 and 11. Bless you.
Leviticus 10 and 11 or 10 and 10.
So Leviticus chapter 10, verse 10 and verse 11.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that you may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean, and that ye may teach the children of Israel all the statutes which the Lord has spoken unto them by the hand of Moses.
All right. Now we have Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
Isaiah 5 verse 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Mm-hmm. You see that? All right. Malachi 3:18.
Malachi 3 and hold on. Malachi 3:18 says, then once more you shall see the distinction between the righteous and the wicked, between one who serves God and one who does not serve him.
Interesting. Okay. And who has Hebrews 5:14?
Glow, Bernice.
Be strong. Be strong. Wait, be strong. Meat belongs to them that are full of age, of full age, even those who by reason of the use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
All right, blessings. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for participating. We appreciate it. And so we started this series off, a month ago, and I started teaching on Passover, and I think Brother Mark had a Bible study here or there in between, I believe. And so I never really got back to, I started this on March 11th. And so I want to go back. I wanted to go back to this. And so tonight, guys, remember our series called Worldviews and Conflict? Okay, you guys remember that? All right, and so I wanted to go back to it tonight. And if you don't remember this lesson, guys, you can go on, I believe, on YouTube, and you can look up this date, 3/11/23, and you can catch up, and you got to definitely check out part 1, because that was the foundation, dealing with what is a worldview. We dealt with what is a worldview exactly. And we learned that, a worldview is something that everyone has. If someone is able to think, if someone is able to speak, they have a worldview. They have a way of viewing the world. No matter how small their view may be, they have a way of viewing the world. And we said that there are various things that can impact the lens through which people see the world. And we said the things that can damage the lens. We said, how people interpret their experiences. We'll also, so watch this. First of all, let me go back. I'm going too fast. So what can affect your worldview? How does it affect it? How is your lens affected? Well, it's affected by how you receive information, and then how you are taught to interpret that information. And that information can come in various ways. It can come through, experiences, good or bad. It can come through relationships. It can come through job experiences. It could come through whether you grew up in a single parent home or you had a 2-parent home. It could affect your lens if parents were always arguing and bickering. It affects you. It affects the lens in which you see the world. It reflects on whether your parents are homosexual or heterosexual, or I might as well just say in LGBTQ plus. It affects the lens of the people, especially children, who are, I think, Sister Benz, when does a child have their most development in their, what's the time period when they have their greatest development?
brain wise, I mean,
Yes.
all over, I would say ages 0 to 5 is like the largest boost of development for their brain, for their body, for everything, as far as learning how to do, like, be independent, use the bathroom, learn language,
Yes.
functions. Yes, 0 to
From
5.
zero, so from birth to 5 years old. And so if you have children that are newly born up till 5, you got to be very careful about that. That includes you as well. That includes you as well. And so watch this. Every parent, Sister Benz and I was just talking about this earlier today, that if you think about the way you are as a person today, who shaped that? Who is the first teacher of every child?
And mother.
The mother is. Before the child is even born, the mother is the first teacher. Now, the father is the second teacher because the mother receives messages from the father or from the male that is in their life while they're pregnant, or the males. See, this is why you got to be careful, because all of that is teaching the child how to think, how to be, what kinds of emotions they're going to be having to deal with, what kind of emotions they're going to express. And so we got to be very careful from the ages of birth, not even before birth, but definitely birth. I would even argue from inception, from the moment of conception, from the moment of conception. Now, there are a lot of people who will try to argue that, the fetus is not human until the 3rd trimester. The Bible does not agree with that. The scripture says that the Lord knew you when he formed you in your mother's womb. And so I want to just say to all of those who believe in abortion or who are thinking about it, who are contemplating, who are being pushed in that direction, guys, let me tell you something. You got to understand this, that at the point of conception, you have all of the chromosomes. And on those chromosomes are information. And that information tells us that baby is, number one, human. The baby has a soul. And it's not just a bunch of flesh that is grouped together or smashed together. No. And so I want to encourage you to rethink, or maybe you don't have a child yet. Maybe that is an option for you. I'm praying that you don't choose that option, that is not even a thought in your mind. Well, what if I can't afford the baby? There's adoption. Well, before I get to that, I'm gonna quote one of our greatest poets. If you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby. In other words, that means don't do things that will produce a life if you cannot feed and take care of that child. And so that's all I wanted to say about that. I think I said enough. Now, the experiences start early. And so our lens of understanding the world is either positively shaped in a healthy way or negatively shaped in an unhealthy way. And so guess what? This is going to affect how people make decisions. And so I would argue that the best way to have the most healthiest worldview, or I should say the most healthiest, but I would say the correct worldview, is to be a Bible believer. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because if we believe that Yah knows everything, if we believe that he's all knowing, if we believe he's all powerful, all merciful, all loving, all kind, then what we have to do is we have to get to know who he is through his son, Yeshua, by faith, not by works. A man is not justified by the works and deeds of the law, but through grace and mercy only. And we have to get to know him. Paul said that I may know him in the power of his resurrection and in the fellowship of his suffering. And so I want to say that because the only way that you can get to know Yah and Yeshua is to get into their mind. Now, Yah has revealed his mind through his scriptures. Okay. Now watch this. The Barna Research Group, they say, and they've determined that only 4% of people who live in the United States have a biblical worldview. Only 4% of people. Now that's scary. It's scary because what that means is you're going to be interacting, your child is going to be interacting with people who have a worldview that's different than theirs, which is no problem. Unless they're able to defend their worldview. Now, if 4% only have a biblical worldview, that means that only 4% really are reading the scriptures. And so I do want to say this, guys. Tonight, we're going to be dealing with part 2 of our series called Faith. And we're going to be talking about affirming what Yah hates. Do you affirm what Yah hates? That means, do you agree with what Yah hates? Do you go along with what Yah hates? Do you ignore what Yah hates? Do you turn a blind eye? Do you cover up your ears? Is it like, remember the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil? Okay, so do you affirm? And so watch this. The question I'm asking is a personal question, because only you know your own personal private thoughts. Yah knows them too, but only you're the only human that knows those things unless you share them with someone else. And so I have a question for you. Do you affirm what Yah hates? Do you agree with it? Do you not have a position on it? When someone asks you about a moral issue that Yah hates, is your response, I don't know. Well, let me say this. The scriptures that everybody read tells us that in order to have a biblical worldview, in order to understand the mind of Yah, in order to really live a biblical lifestyle, you have to make a distinction between good and evil, holy and unholy. And so if you don't have the scriptures that, now watch this, that determine absolute truth. And what I mean by absolute, can someone tell me, what do you think absolute truth means?
Isn't absolutes a positive versus a negative?
You kind of faded out a little bit.
Are absolutes like those two, not parentheses, but lines? And if it's inside, there's like a positive versus a negative, right? I don't
All
know.
right.
Yeah.
Put down.
Think about the scriptures that we read. Think about those
Good
scriptures that
versus
we read.
evil, up versus down, yin versus yang.
Mm-hmm. Good and evil.
Absolutely.
Positive versus a negative. That's what it is.
Okay. It's more than that. It's more than that. It's more than that, because watch this. I'm gonna show you how. What if I say that, Jesus was a good man? He was a good prophet. That's positive, right?
And somebody else could say he was not. He was blasphemous.
Absolutely.
That's
But watch this. If I only say that Yeshua was just a good prophet, it sounds good, it's positive. But Brother Mark, what's wrong with that?
He wasn't a prophet. He was the son of man.
Well, he was a prophet.
It wasn't the absolute truth, though. They only gave a little bit, not the
All right.
complete story.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? What is an absolute truth? See, if you don't know what an absolute, watch this, guy. This is super duper important. Now, don't go look it up on Google, because if you look it up on Google, you can look it up, but what you're doing is you're maybe you don't know it according to the words I'm using. Okay. And so now, if you don't know what an absolute truth is, then I have some bad news for you. I have some bad news, and I'm going to share that a little bit later. What is the absolute truth? I want to test you guys. Again, you may not know it in those words, but I'm sure you know what it is.
I mean, the truth without the benefit of the doubt, like there's no way, getting away around it.
That's part of it. Absolutely. That definitely is part of it. What's another part of absolute truth?
Like Sister Ben said, I think something that everybody believes it's true. That's what I'm thinking.
No, it's not what everybody believes is true. Because watch this. There was a time in this country where the majority of the people believed that slavery was true and good. Did that make it true
No.
and good?
No sabes, ayúdame, Rabbi.
Say that one more time.
I said, no sabes, ayúdame, Rabbi.
Por favor, estudiante. I want to give someone else a chance, though.
Absolute.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right. Watch this.
Uh,
Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say, just from memory, or just whatever comes to my mind was that it appears to be, exact. It's truth that's measurable, and if one is objective, everyone can come to that truth, but at the same time, some people might reject it, even though it's true, and it's
Okay, hold on. What do you mean by objective?
meaning that it's truth that could be, that that one can observe, and they could come to with solid reasoning, they can come to the fact, and with evidence, they can come to the fact, say, okay, this is true. It's up to them to accept it or not.
What if they don't accept it?
If they don't accept it, then they reject the truth.
So, all right, before I go in, does anyone else want to take a stab at it? Brother Mark, you're definitely right. Everybody was right.
I just want to say, last thing is, we know it's solid truth for people to say, okay, when we're going to die one day, someone can reject that and say, well, when we close our eyes, we're just going to be, we're just we're going to transform. We're not going to die. We're not. I mean, they might not want to, or somebody say, if I jump off the cliff, I'm going to die. Somebody might think, no, I'm not. I'm just going to fly. I mean, it's the solid truth. I mean, you can't, if you can accept it, even if you don't, if you want to reject it, it's just factual. It's object. You can observe it and you can test it. You can.
But wait, facts can change.
Okay.
Can't facts change?
So if the sky is blue today, but if a fire's in the sky, it'll be red tomorrow.
There you go. And another fact is this: I weigh 200 pounds. That's a fact. But can that change?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If I get out there and run, boy, I'll get down to 180. Be cut. All right. Absolute truth. And I think you guys were hitting at it. You were right there. And I think, Brother Mark, you were the closest. And I'm just going to make it very simple. Absolute truth is something that is true, whether we believe it or not. It's true whether we agree with it or not. It's true whether we know about it or not. And so we got to get this in our minds. We got to be able to spit that out like this. And more than just spitting it out, we have to live by it. And the way that you can, I don't want to say, the way that you can prove that something is absolute true is there's a few ways. And me and Josiah had a discussion at the table one night, and I said something, I can't remember what I said, but I said, he said, I disagree with that. That's not true. And then I said, is that true? And he said, he thought about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Because there is always people, I don't care who you are, people can, like Brother Mark said, you can reject it, disagree with it, but it's true anyway. Can anyone think of one or two examples? Well, can anyone think of one example of an absolute or objective truth? Something that's true, whether you agree with it or not.
My name is
I got-
Elaine. My name is Elaine.
Okay, all right.
I have one.
Gender.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one. Brother Mark.
I'm a female.
Okay, so you and Deneen agree, all right?
I'm 5'8". 5'9". 5'9".
Now wait a minute.
Whatever.
Is that with sister Elaine? Is that with shoes or without shoes?
She talking about her shoes. What you talking about? Don't be asking no women stuff.
Is that with heels or flats? Brother Mark?
I got one. I just wanted to throw it out there. There were people at my job that felt like, if they were vaccinated, that they didn't have to wear a mask. And if they were around somebody that had COVID, that no matter what would happen, that they would never get it. But then some people found out later that that wasn't the case. And so, yeah.
Contagious.
Okay. I got a good one, man. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and try it. Gravity. Gravity is true whether you believe it or not. If you don't believe it, go ahead and prove it. Go ahead and jump off of a building that's taller than 20 feet.
Oh, scientist realm.
Uh-huh.
Some
Oh,
places
yes.
have different gravity than here. Remember
Now,
that
somebody,
we went to?
someone could argue and say that's relative. Someone could say that's relative, Pastor Benz, because if you are in space,
Mm-hmm.
on a space shuttle,
Where did it go?
the gravity doesn't exist.
You been to the mystery spot in Santa Cruz?
Mystery spot, yes.
There's a real
Yes.
place. The gravity
I
is
got
different.
some.
But I can say this, here on Earth, there is gravity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you jump, you will prove me right, and you will prove yourself to be wrong if you don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so, guys, I'm just trying to give you guys like an understanding of what absolute or objective truth is, because there are a lot of people that will argue and say, and you heard them say, in meetings, speak your truth. And that's just not
As if
true.
it's more than one.
Like it's more than one truth. Okay. And so I want to say this. So watch this, guys. This is why understanding absolute truth or objective truth is important. When you confront information that challenges our beliefs, when we confront or we come into contact or experience beliefs that challenge what we believe, a lot of people, that's a stressful experience. I've had an experience like that. I've experienced people who, when their beliefs are challenged, it's stressful to them. And also it's unpleasant. It doesn't feel good. And so the desire to avoid these mental, uncomfortabilities or mental discomfort, we don't like to be uncomfortable. We want to be comfortable, at peace at all times. We don't want anyone to mess up our day. We don't want anyone to get us out of our zone. We are so sensitive, and we can't deal with people who have who desire to challenge our belief. It's stressing me out. We have this mental avoidance of wanting to deal with information that challenges our beliefs. Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
So yeah,
It makes us uneasy. And so watch this. We fall prey because of that need to be comfortable all the time. We are in a dangerous place. And that dangerous place is, it makes it easy for you to fall into the trap of confirmation bias. Are y'all with me? How many people have heard of confirmation
bias? Say it
Say
again.
one. Yes, I'm going to put it in the chat, and I will say it again. And you can look this up. I invite you to look it up, because many of us believers, because this is a worldly idea, and I'm going to show you in just a second how it's a worldly idea. Confirmation bias, is an innate, and watch this is the scariest thing. It's innate, it's within you, and you do it unconsciously. You don't even know you're doing it. It's kind of like carbon monoxide. You don't even know you're breathing it. You don't even know until you pass out and someone wakes you up, if you wake up. It's an unconscious tendency, watch this, to interpret information. Remember, we talked about the lenses? It's an unconscious tendency to interpret information in ways, watch this, guys. Are y'all writing this down?
Say it again.
I'm gonna put it in the chat, but I will say it again. Now, it's an unconscious way or tendency
To
I'll put it in the chat for you guys. Okay, it's an unconscious way or tendency to interpret information. Remember, confirmation bias makes people feel stressed. We don't want to feel stressed. We drink, we smoke, we hump, we do all kind of stuff. Okay? We don't want stress in our life. We drink coffee. We drink energy drinks. We drink alcohol. I mean, we don't want to feel nothing. That's uncomfortable. So it's an unconscious way or a tendency that we have. Now, some people's tendency is more higher than others. I think we all do it to a certain degree, but many people, that's how they live their lives. All right? It's an unconscious tendency to interpret information in a way that confirms and affirms what we already believe. And anyone who presents information contrary to that, we write them off as, you know what, it's hard to get along with them. You know, they're always like on one. I mean, why they go so hard? I mean, is it that serious? That's because that you, if you say that, that is the tendency, the unconscious tendency, because you don't know how to deal with information that challenges your beliefs, you blame the other person. And you blame them for a problem that's innate within you. Now, let me say this. This can really dog a lot of relationships out. Oh, let me tell you.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Preguntas?
Yeah, you said it's an unconscious tendency to interpret information that confirms
And affirms.
hold on, what us or someone else already believes.
What humans believe, what people believe. Let me say this, no one's exempt from confirmation bias. However, there are people who are highly affected by it. Now you can graduate from being a person who has this tendency, but you got to be willing to allow people to challenge what you believe. But we remember, we don't like that because it makes us uncomfortable. And we new millennium 21st century believers and people, we don't like to feel any uncomfortability. We can't handle it. You know, when I used to get high, I used to say, dang, man, you ever had anybody used to get high and then, you know, you would have someone sober come in the party, ruining your high. And you're like, dude, dang. So you stop getting invited to the barbecue. Come on and go with me here. Yeah, that's confirmation bias. I want you to think about that the next time someone challenges your beliefs. I want you to think about that the next time someone says something that you don't want to accept. Confirmation bias. You're doing it unconsciously because you don't want anything to ruin, watch this, your worldview. See, guys, when you have a person like me who ain't afraid to speak up and tell the truth to nobody, is that right? Is that correct English? I'm an English teacher. To anyone?
Yeah, anyone.
Lord.
To nobody. I like nobody. That feels better to me. Feel natural.
It's not your fault.
Right? Look, when you have a person like that who's not afraid to tell the truth, no matter whose feelings it hurt, watch this. Because again, oftentimes you could tell a person who is dealing with confirmation bias unconsciously, because they're always talking about, well, when you said this, it hurt my feelings. But it's not because people are being mean. It's not because people are being shady. It's because they're telling you the truth. It's not because people are being sarcastic. It's not because people are telling jokes and you're the butt of the joke. Nope. It's when people speak objective truth. Confirmation bias. Now, guess what confirmation bias does? It renders you incapable of problem solving. Because you don't even want to hear something that could really set you free. Didn't Yeshua said this? See, Yeshua said that the Ruach, will lead and guide us into all truth. He was talking about objective truth. See, when you're dealing with confirmation bias, man, that's a sign that you're not really at that point, at that moment, you're not being led by the Ruach. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care how you divvy it up. Listen, because of your tendency and my tendency to want to feel comfortable all the time. I mean, think about it, man. You know, we got all kind of unresolved trauma we dealing with. I want to go with me here. We're dealing with the trauma of being a child, the things that we had to deal with in our childhood. We're dealing with the trauma of what we had to experience at school when mama didn't know nothing about it. We're dealing with the trauma of what that dude tried to do to us or what that woman tried to do. We're dealing with all kinds of trauma. And then on top of that, you got some loudmouth, think he knows it all, trying to tell you what to do, when to do it, and telling you most of all that you're wrong about this. I'm done. I don't want to hear anything that causes me. I don't want no information that challenges what I believe and that causes me, watch this, to have to adjust my worldview. Leave it. Someone told me when I challenged their worldview, someone told me, they said, this is not it. And then they said, oh man, what'd they tell me? They said, kindly excuse yourself or something like that. Ooh-wee. Because they don't want their worldview challenged. They want people around them that are going to confirm and affirm what they already believe. Guys, think about it. Think about the people you disagree with the most, who speak the truth. Who's the one that's always complaining? Who's the one that always got a problem when you say something, they look at you like, here you go. Go. Mm-hmm. You got a problem, man, because you are unconsciously, you're not being led by the Ruach, but you're being led by your emotions and your fleshly desire to feel comfortable. That's why Paul said, don't think it's strange when you go through fiery trials that challenge your faith. In other words, that challenges the way you view the world. And guys, let me say this. Let me say this. If you're gonna come to Rehoboth, if you don't want somebody all in the video, you don't want the preacher all in the choir. You want the preacher to just stay in the pulpit, come to Rehoboth. Come to Rehoboth. Woo-wee. I'm in the house. I'm in the house tonight, and the house is not packed. Now watch this. Similar to confirmation bias. People are motivated by reasoning that actively, hear me clear, people are motivated by reasoning. That means you're motivated to look for people who have the same kinds of reasoning that you do. You like searching out, hanging out, kicking it with people who don't challenge you. My goodness. See, that's why, you wonder why you don't have a lot of friends. It's not because you're not friendly. It's because you speak too much truth. You ought to say hallelujah. Somebody just understood why they're going through all the hell they're going through. It's nothing wrong with you. The problem is with them. It's because their thinking is telling you, somebody's like, when you gonna get to the scripture, Pastor? I just got to it. We read 4 or 5 of them. You want me to go in my exegesis? You want me to do some exegesis? You ain't ready for that. Let's do some exegesis then. I'm gonna do some exegesis because I can hear it. When you gonna get to a scripture? How about this? Let's play a little game first. Hold on, let me see. Can you guys see this sign right here? This blue sign? Can someone tell me what this means? Can anyone see that? Can you guys see that? Can you see the word that's there in that blue banner? Hello? Are you guys all there? Yeah, there you are.
Yes.
Can you guys see what I'm sharing?
No, cannot.
Oh, because some of you are on, here, let me do this then. I'm gonna send it in the thread message, okay? If you can't see it, I'm gonna send it in the text message. Does anyone know what that sign is?
I don't see nothing.
I'm about to send it in the I'm gonna send it in the text, okay?
Is one of those signs like the Star of David? I could be wrong.
Okay, that's right here.
Yeah.
That's the Star of David, okay? But
Yeah.
what is the entire Okay, that's good, Brother Mark. Can anyone tell me what each of these signs mean, first of all?
Islam,
Which one is Islam?
gender, peace. The first one with the moon and the stars, Islam. Then there's,
Okay,
I don't
the
know,
crescent and
gender,
the star.
peace. I'm not sure what that stands for.
This gender piece right here.
Then the Star of David. I don't know what that is.
Okay, Star of David.
Uh,
Sister Biz, you should know what this one is. We took a class with this.
the yin and the yang.
Yup. Now, what is this one right here?
That's a cross.
Okay. Now they're all on the
Hey,
same.
what is this? What is the one next to the gender piece?
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's probably I don't know.
That's something Arabic or something, but I don't know what it stands for. The yin and the yang is like Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism, all of that.
Confucianism. Yep. So what do you think this sign is saying?
We should coexist.
Oh, we're trying
Coexist.
to we should be together. Like they're trying to unite everybody's belief.
Yes, brother. Yes, you guys. Now watch this.
Does it mean unite or does it mean just like agree to disagree? Like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
what's up, Muslim brother? Hey, Arab, whatever.
It doesn't mean to disagree, because when you coexist, that means that you don't verbally demonstrate any disagreement. You affirm everyone's belief as equally as valid as anyone else's. In other words, the Bible. Now, how many of you guys have seen this on people's like bumper sticker or in their window, or haven't you guys seen this sticker?
Yes.
Yes. So let me just say this. You will know that a person who has a symbol like this, they are the kind of people, they will affirm everyone's beliefs except biblical beliefs. And they will try to treat them. And we're coming into a time, guys, we're coming into a time where you think it's cool to have and carry the word of Yah around. You think it's cool that if you go to some other countries, you can't talk about, in many countries, you can't openly carry a Bible. Can anyone think of a country like that?
When you go to Israel, if you go through the Muslims territory,
Mm-hmm.
and they know you're a believer, you could be, if it is openly known, you be cause some trouble.
You see that? Can you pray at the can you pray in public in Israel?
You can, but you can't. It's a problem with at the Muslims court or like or in their territory. Like if you, there's probably gonna be some problems. Every time I was.
Now let me ask you guys this. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna give me a second here. Blessings. This is why I like interactive. Hold on. I love it. I love this. You guys got time? Watch this, guys. Watch this. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this. Okay, I want you to tell me real quick. Now, give me just a few minutes. Give me a few minutes because I want to show you this. I want to hit you in the head with this, and I'm going to ask y'all some questions. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Are y'all still there?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show y'all this. And I want you to I want you to listen to this. Okay. Tell me what you think.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has met with a delegation of members of parliament from over 22 African countries and the United Kingdom who had come.
Can you guys hear that?
Yes.
Can
but
you
in
do it
entebbe
again?
for
I'm
a two-day
sorry.
first ever interparliamentary conference.
Say it
No,
again.
Can you do it again? It was really
on family
bad.
values and
Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me do this one here. Hold on. Because I want y'all to understand what is happening here. Now I'm gonna pick one that, yeah, let me pick this one. I'm gonna pick this one because we have two Ghanaians here with us. Brother Mark, you're Ghanaian, whether you know it or not. Okay, hold on, let me play it, let me share it. Okay, so this is from the news link called Al Jazeera.
Homosexuality has been illegal in Ghana since 1960. Homosexuality has been illegal in Ghana since 1960, but the law has rarely been enforced. So imagine what it must be like to be a member of Ghana's LGBTQ+ community right now, knowing that your parliament is considering a new law that will criminalize anyone who isn't a heterosexual and give the state sweeping powers to convict. Or imagine being a Ghanaian journalist, knowing that if this bill is passed and your reporting is construed as sympathetic to gay, lesbian, or trans people, you could go to jail for 10 years. So who would propose such a law, and why?
My name is Samuel Nate George, one of 8 members of parliament who is sponsoring a bill on the promotion of proper Ghanaian family values and human sexual rights. And let's make it clear, this bill was as a response to the provocation from the LGBTQ community.
The provocation that Sam George speaks of came last year when news broke that an LGBTQ+ center had opened in the Ghanaian capital, Accra. What followed in the media was a kind of homophobic overdrive. Journalists, along with anti-LGBTQ+ campaigners, demanded the center's closure. Within a month, the police shut it down.
Fantastic decision. I'm a happy man.
Later that day, one broadcaster reported that the police had found 2 men in the building having sex, which the center called an outright lie and just another example of homophobic misinformation in the Ghanaian media.
I am Ebenezer Piga, and I'm the founder and director of Rightify Ghana, which is a human rights organization in Ghana. We have been documenting how the media are promoting homophobia. We have seen newspapers make sham investigative reports where they claim that LGBT organizations are recruiting students with laptops which have pre-installed porn. We also have media promoting disinformation on HIV, which is being used by the anti-LGBT coalition to promote the bill.
8 out of 10 people who have got HIV/AIDS in Ghana pick it through gay or bisexual activity.
We even have journalists against LGBT whom have formed a group to promote homophobia. Last year, their convener said on air that they were going to show the...
Okay. Now, I think we've heard enough to come to a decision. Would you support the Ghanaians, or would you support the individuals that are anti-homophobic or homophobia, who are supporting those who are gay and homosexual or LGBTQ? Would you support Ghana's government?
I had a question because so the guy who was just speaking lastly was he was speaking on behalf of the LGBT community to say that there was false reports against him. Is that what he was saying?
Yes, he was saying that he supports the LGBT community because there's been propaganda. There have been lies in the newspaper promoting homophobia. And
yes, okay.
Yes, now let me show you a different guy. I want to show you a different one because I want to. So you heard his side, and I want to show this one. I hope you bear with me.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe.
Why are you pushing this bill that would legalize hate and homophobia in Ghana?
A very good afternoon to your viewers, and I do not understand what you mean by pushing a bill that will legalize hate and homophobia. It's a bill to promote proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values. If you have another bill you're talking about, then maybe you've got the wrong man. But if you're talking to me about the bill I'm sponsoring in Parliament, it is to promote proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values.
What are
So
these
that's what you
Ghanaian
want us to
family
talk about.
values in your mind, sir? What do you consider Ghanaian family values?
Article 39 of the Ghanaian Constitution is clear that the state shall take steps to inculcate the right Ghanaian values, customary values, into society. The Constitution of Ghana makes the states clearly that the National House of Chiefs is the custodian of Ghana's custom. This bill is supported by the Ghana National House of Chiefs. Our fourth consultative forum, which was held in the Ashanti regional capital of Kumasi, was actually sponsored by the National House of Chiefs. And the president of the National House of Chiefs spoke extensively at that conference where Ghanaian culture forbids homosexuality. And so Ghanaian culture,
these members of the LGBT community we're speaking to, sir, are also Ghanaians. They're also Ghanaian. They are part of Ghanaian culture. And they're saying they're gay, they're transsexual, they're bisexual. They are also Ghanaians.
Some of the individuals who were involved in planning terror attacks in America are American citizens. Is it American culture to kill people?
That's a false, that's not the same comparison.
You see that, brother Sam Joe? You see him with that question? Man, I love this.
Kenko,
But what I want to focus on here is...
Wait, say that one more time.
Kenko.
Sister, he don't cankle kindly. He gonna come with it. Keep watching.
You see that though? See, you gotta be able to, okay, here we go.
In comparison, you are telling me that because we have people who are carrying out an activity that is illegal per our laws already, and our culture frowns on it because they are found in our jurisdiction, that is our culture.
There
is
were
it
many
American
things that were
illegal
that are unjust.
Innocent children and teachers?
Honorable MP, there are many things that were illegal, that were unjust, and those laws were changed because they are unjust.
Well, laws are a reflection of society. Until 1960, American society did not find women fit to vote. And
Ankle number 2, you hear that? Do you hear this, brother from Kenya? See, guys, we got to understand that when people promote the ignorance of a country simply because of the color of their skin, we've got to understand, man, what's happening. We got to understand that when people say we have to coexist, they're saying that this guy, he's the MP, I think the minister, what is the MP again? I'm not sure. I think it's the minister of, he's in some political position.
Member of parliament.
He's in the parliament, he's in the government. Listen, wait, you know what? Listen to him, hold on.
The women did not vote there. When they found them fit to vote, society evolved. Society evolves. At this point in time, the Ghanaian society is in a position where it says it is not welcoming of homosexuality. And any other person must respect the views of Ghanaian society. The CDD, which is a far-right liberal think tank here in Ghana, carried out research, which was published on the 1st of July. In fact, the academics who have sent in a memo against this bill have 2 of their fellows, the CDD's fellows in there, the Center for Democracy in Ghana, Democratic Development. They've been clear. Ghanaians are 97% tolerant of Ghanaians of different ethnicity, 94% tolerant of people of different religion, 91% tolerant of persons of different political persuasions, 71% tolerant of migrants and foreigners, but only 7% tolerant of homosexuality. That is the system, that is the society of Ghana.
What's your reaction?
Okay, I want to stop this because, and I will put this in the chat if you would like to look at it, and I will also put it in I will also put it in our thread. But guys, I want to say this. The idea that we can all live together and agree and affirm everyone's beliefs equally is just not true. It is impossible to do that. Okay. And I'm gonna show you why. I'm just gonna give you one example of why it is impossible to do that. Let me share my other screen here. Okay, show you why it's impossible. Now, Paul says this. Can you guys see this one? Can you guys see that? Paul says this in 1 Corinthians 1:10. He says, now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, that you all speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you, but that you be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. Okay? Now, can someone respond and tell me why is this Ghanaian, Sam George, who is the Minister of Parliament, is he doing what 1 Corinthians 1:10 says? And should he be? Should he do that? Now, as you're thinking about that, this word division is schismata. Schismata. It's where we get our English word schism. And a schism or schismata is simply a division or dissension. Okay? Being perfectly joined together, it comes from the Greek word here. Comes from the Greek word pater tis menoi. Pater tis menoi. It simply means to mend what has been broken or torn, to repair, to strengthen, to be perfectly whole, to be complete, to make one what they ought to be. Now, is this what Sam George is doing? Or does he have a responsibility to do that? And is Paul referring to everyone in the world? What's going on here with 1 Corinthians 1:10?
You just said several questions.
Yeah, you can pick one. So the first one was, is Sam George, the Minister of Parliament, is he supposed to be doing that, what 1 Corinthians 1:10 says?
It depends on who he's talking about, though. So he said, brethren. So who is believing in the Torah and the values that are within that community? So if he was speaking to that community, then I would say yes. But when it comes to the world view of coexisting, he will be going against that grain because that's not absolute truth.
How many believe with or agree with Sister? How many are of the same mind? How many have the same judgment as Sister Benz?
I agree with what she's saying. I mean, the scripture, Paul is talking to the disciples. He's not talking to the whole world.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. And Sister Benz pointed out that this word right here, brethren, is the indicator of that. That word brethren is adelphos. It means from the same womb. It means to be born again from the same womb. And so we were all born again by the Ruach Kodesh, or the Holy Spirit. And so by that, Paul is speaking to those who are believers in Yeshua. Now, here's another reason why that will not happen. Sometimes it doesn't even happen in the congregation. But John 17:17 says this: sanctify them through what makes us uncomfortable. You see that? Paul says, sanctify them. Not Paul, I'm sorry. Yeshua is saying this in John 17:17. He's saying, sanctify them through thy truth. Now, let me ask you a question. In this text, I'm going to go here and show you guys. Hold on. Go down here. Where is my? Here we go. I'm going to show you guys this. So in this particular text, notice what's happening here. Look at verse number 9. You guys see verse 9? He says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. And all mine, verse 10, are in thine. All mine are thine, and in thine are mine. Say that 5 times fast. And I am glorified in them. Okay? Now, who is Yeshua talking about or talking to? Because he's praying, right? Says right here twice, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. Who is he talking to?
His sheep.
Is he? So Yeshua is praying to his sheep.
Yes.
Okay, I want to let's look at this now one more time. When he says, I pray for them.
I pray not for the world.
Those that are like-minded.
Who is Yeshua praying to?
The disciple. Who is he praying to?
Yes, who is he praying to?
Wait, what was the question? Who is he praying to or for?
No, not for. Who is he praying to? He says this in verse, excuse me, in verse 9. He says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
So he's praying for the disciples.
Who is he praying to?
He was praying to God.
But it says,
thank you, Mother Jones. Mother Jones, who said that? Mother Jones?
Yes.
Come on, Sister Mother Jones, theologian. He's praying to Yah. He's praying to God. Y'all listen. God is the only one. Yah is the only one that can receive prayer. Now, we don't want to get into a Catholic belief. The crooked Catholic Church believes, and when I say crooked, I'm saying they're crooked in their theology. They believe you can pray for the saints or pray to the saints. Do we believe that? Does the Bible teach that, I should say?
No.
The Bible doesn't teach that. So he is not praying to believers. He's not praying to his disciples. He's not praying to himself. He's praying to Abba Yah. Now watch this. When we get down to verse 17, he's still praying. Look at verse 15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world. Okay, he's still praying. But then look what he says in his prayer. He's saying, Abba Yah, sanctify them through your truth. And then he says, well, where's the truth at? The word is the truth. Now, I guarantee you this is Logos. Watch this. This word is going to be Logos, or a form of Logos. There it is right there. Ho Logos. Okay? It says, I'm praying, sanctify them through thy word, through thy truth. Okay, Logos. Okay? Logos is expressing the mind of Yah. Okay? He says it's of speech. It's what he said. It is the sayings of Yah, his decrees, his mandates, his order. Watch this. It's the Old Testament prophecy. Look at all these things. Watch this. It goes down. It's doctrine. It's teaching. Look at this. Watch this now. It is what makes us uncomfortable. He says, I want you to make them holy, make them set apart from the world by what makes them uncomfortable. And listen carefully. I want to close when I say this. want to close, and I'm going back to my lesson here. If I can get there. Let's say this, going all the way back to the beginning, confirmation bias. Yeshua said this, I'm praying for each and every believer that you will stop allowing confirmation bias, which is an innate unconscious tendency to interpret information that confirms and affirms what we already believe or want to believe. He says this, I'm going to make you different. Number one, because you don't belong to yourself, you belong to him. He says, I'm going to make you different by challenging you, by ridding yourself of confirmation bias, of you and me having the tendency to interpret everything that someone says and does in an unconscious way. We do it unconsciously. I'm going to rid you of interpreting information that already agrees and affirms what you already believe and what you want to believe through thy truth, through his word. He says, thy word is your truth. Now, let me say this. I want you to think about people who doesn't read the word. You don't read the word regularly. You don't even read it twice a week. I want you to think about people like that. They're full of confirmation bias. They can't handle their face twitches and turns when you speak the truth to them. They don't like it. They're not accepting of it. Why? Because they want their deeply held beliefs, their worldview, not to be disrupted by truth at any cost. And people who are like that, they say things like this, you know what, I'm uncomfortable talking to you. It's not because you're cussing, it's not because you're yelling, it's because you're speaking the truth. And so listen, I'm free today. I'm free today because when I speak the truth and you reject it or someone rejects it, you should be free too. You should understand that this has nothing to do with me. You shouldn't go around feeling bad. You shouldn't go around hanging your head down. You shouldn't go about worrying, whoa, you know, am I going to have any friends? Let me say something about this. Yeshua is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And listen, let me tell you, man, as a pastor, oh my goodness, it is the loneliest. It's the loneliest to be because people are comfortable with maintaining and holding on to unconscious tendencies where they only want information that confirms or affirms what they already believe. They don't want to be challenged with the truth of the word. And so the next time you're witnessing to someone, and listen, you need to take away and take off the garments of, well, I don't want to, scare them away with the word. What are you talking about? You scare them away with the word. It's the truth. You're scaring them because they don't want to change and adapt their worldview that makes them comfortable. Listen, if that wasn't true, why would Yeshua say this? You tell me, if you can answer, if you can give me a reason why he said it, then I'll stop preaching. Listen, I will. If you can give me a reason, in Matthew 28, verse 19, go ye therefore, teach all nations. Teach them what? The truth, the Basara, the gospel. Teaching all nations. That means it doesn't matter what, whether you Esau. Now I know that there are individuals who don't want to believe that. But listen, you can't get around this. These are the words of Yeshua. And watch this. This word nations doesn't mean Israelite nations. There's no Israelite. There's one Israelite nation. Okay? It's just one nation, okay? He's talking about, watch this, the goyim in the Hebrew. But in the Greek, it's the ethnos. And it doesn't mean Israelites in a Gentile state of mind. Man, please. Listen. Ethne, which comes from ethnos. Now watch this. You believe that the gospel wasn't for Gentiles? You still believe Esau is going to be your slave? Watch this. You still believe that? Watch this. He says this. Ridiculous. Watch this. If they come to Yeshua in faith, nations are people, watch this, of foreign nations, not Israel, not worshiping the true Yah. He told you to go teach them. Now watch this. People want to talk about, Esau is from Japheth, right? Well, guess what? That was Shem's brother. Okay, you don't like that one? Okay, I'll take you to this one. I want to blow all of this. See, I hate every false way.
Can you share screen, please?
Okay, yes. Oh, let me go back to this one then. I'm gonna share this one so you guys can see. Thank you. Is that one? Yep. Thank you for that. So let me go back. Okay. Matthew 28:19, Yeshua says this, go ye therefore. He says, I want you to teach people who have a different worldview, who have a tendency to hold on to an unconscious way of interpreting information that confirms what they already believe or what they want to believe. He says, go to them. He says, go to all nations, and that word nations, goyim in the Hebrew, ethnos or ethne in the Greek, which means this. Hold on, I passed it. Hold on. Yes, yes. Ethne or ethnos, ethne is plural. You can see it over here. It's an adjective. So yes, it's an it's a noun. It's a noun in the accusative form, and it's plural. Okay, it means not just the Israelite nation, which is one nation. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are, or happen to be, an Israelite by blood, he's talking to you. Okay, you're one nation by blood. But guess what? You need to go to them too. But then and Paul says that in Romans 10, brethren, it's my heart's desire that all of Israel will be saved. But then this particular ethnos is dealing with now, let me be honest, intellectually honest. This word can deal with a multitude. It can deal with a multitude of individuals from the same nature or genus. It can deal with the human family, which is being used here. But it's a specific part of the human family. It's dealing with the foreign nations. Watch this. Foreign nations not worshiping the true Yah, pagan Gentiles. Okay? He tells you to go to them and then teach them. Why are you teaching them? Look what the word says. Where is it? You guys know the rest of this scripture. He says, teaching them to observe.
They don't.
She said because they don't know it.
Who said that now?
Mother Jones.
Come on, Mother Jones. You with me tonight? Are you with me? MJ, are you with me? Come on now. He says, go ye therefore to all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kodesh, teaching them to observe all the things whatsoever I have commanded you. That means, you know what that means when Yeshua said that? Watch this. Yeshua, see, look, I love the word, guys. See, when you really get into this word, watch this. John 12. Oh, yes. Watch what John 12 says. He says, for I have not spoken of myself. John 12, for here, 12:49. See, you got to go deep like this because people don't want to believe that the Gentiles are supposed to be in the word. Watch what he says at 49. Yeshua said this. He said, teaching all things I have commanded you. Well, what did he command? Well, Yeshua said this, for I have not spoken of myself, but the Father, which sent me, gave me commandment. Hallelujah. What I should say and what I should speak. So you can't say Yeshua came up with a different message than his Father, or they wouldn't be one. Now watch this. Watch this word commandment here. See, you got to cankle sometimes, kindly. Watch this. Oh, yes. Intolin. You guys see that? It's from intolate. Now watch this. It's a noun. Oh, yes, it is. Watch when I go here, guys. I want to show you now. This is real study. This is real Bible teaching. Listen. He says, the Father have given me commandment. Watch this. An order, a command, a charge, a precept, an injunction, that which is prescribed to one by reason of his office, a commandment, a prescribed rule in accordance with which a thing is done, a precept relating to the lineage of the Mosaic precepts concerning the priesthood, it could relate to that, ethically used of the commandments and the Mosaic instructions. Are y'all with me? That means this, that when Yeshua said, go and teach the nations, guess who was saying that before he even got it? Yah. Want me to prove it? Let me go to Ecclesiastes. Sorry, guys, I gotta bring this out because this is one of my favorites, 12, 13, and 14, Ecclesiastes 12. Watch this. 13 and 14. The wisest man, besides Yeshua, to ever live. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty. Watch this now. It's the whole duty of who? Ha-Adam. Ha-Adam. Oh, watch it now. Watch me. Look at Ha-Adam. You want to know who that is, guys?
Mankind.
Come on. It's the whole duty of mankind to do what? Keep the commandments. That's why Yeshua said, go ye and teach all the nations. And Yeshua said this. He said, look, y'all. He said, what I'm saying, it's not mine. I get it from the Father. He's talking to all nations. Solomon said it. Guess who else said it? Moses. Guys, all I'm trying to say is this. You can no longer use the excuse, well, I'm just not a vocal person. You got a commandment. Well, I'm just not a people person. Listen, you got a commandment. You are a people person. You are a vocal person. You can look after tonight. You cannot hide. Now you could probably say I struggle, but you cannot say that I'm so. Let me clear this up. You're saying that because you're uncomfortable, you're going to disobey the word. See, people like that, and I know no one's here saying that, but people like that with that kind of reasoning, what they're saying is, right now, I could never go to that church. And I used to feel, let me tell y'all something. I used to feel bad because we don't have a lot of members. I used to feel like that. I'll be honest. But I don't feel like that anymore. You know why? Because I recognize that everybody can't sit up under this. Everybody can't sit up under this and listen and then obey. Everybody can't do that. And guess what? I don't want to pastor people who can't do that either. Whether you're a preacher, whether you're a prophet, whether you're whatever you are, if you cannot be shepherded, then I don't want you here. Straight up. You're not gonna come in here and try to bust up the shit roll on this shit. We not, listen, you're not gonna, I use this in a poem that I said. See, everybody with you is not rowing with you. They're only there to drill holes. Want to go with me here? And I'm not talking about E14 either. Oh, you better hear me tonight. Well, I didn't say it enough. Blessings, shalom, Shabbat. I mean, shalom, shalom, everybody.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, guys. We're gonna try to come on at 7:30 for the parashah, because we've been getting out of parashah like 10:30, and that, you know, and it's pretty late. And so we're gonna try, like tonight, you know, we're out at about, it's like 9:40. I went over, I got excited, but we're gonna come back to this. And again, I didn't even get to everything in this lesson, man. I just barely got to the first verse. Well, actually, I got the 2. I'm gonna pick up here at John 17 on, will we be in May?
Yep. May 2nd. No.
Today's the 25th.
Yes, you're right. May 1st is on Monday.
Oh, yes. Mother's Day is Monday, guys.
Is when?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is on May 1st.
1st and 15th. Don't act like you don't know.
I'm confused.
Some of my hood buddies, y'all are gonna get that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. 1st and 15th.
I get that.
Okay. Mother's Day. Blessings. Any questions? Any questions, guys? Any comments? Anything you would like to share?
Thank you. I'll be ready on Thursday.
Okay.
Bless y'all.
Bernice.
All right, blessings. Blessings. Lila Tov. Yeah.